Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, but now we're turning attention to a matter that is very interesting as well as controversial. Remember the 30,000 polling units matter that came up in the last elections? Well, something similar is coming up now. And if you saw the dailies yesterday, boy, were they awash with it. Let's go to Abuja and sink our teeth into this one. Mark.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Joining us right now in the studio, we have two gentlemen, Mr. Rotimi Oyekanmi, who is the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have Mr. Osuntokun, who is former presidential advisor on politics. He's also Deputy Chairman of the National Intervention Movement and also Director Public Communications of the Coalition of Nigeria. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
Just a little curious, have you left the PDP?
No.
Okay, so you're a member of the PDP and also a member of the NIM?
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
So let's talk about this controversial 30,000 additional polling units which INEC says it wants to create. It looks like we hear that INEC wants to create 30,000 extra polling units. What precisely is the story? Because it seems to be resurfacing. We saw this sometime in 2014 to the 2015 elections, and now it's come up again. What is going on?
Thank you very much. To answer your question directly, INEC is not about to create 30,000 polling units. Now, what happened was that we received requests from all over the country. In total, as we speak, about 3,789 requests from all over the country, from people asking us to come and create new polling units in their new settlements. And, you know, this should not be unexpected because the population is growing, new settlements are springing up, and because of clashes all over the place, people are moving from one place to the other. And we have, you know, existing polling units. So if new settlements are coming up and the number is increasing, it is natural for people to say, look, we would like to participate, come and create polling units. So when we received such requests, they were coming in, we decided then to ask our resident electoral commissioners in the state for information. We gave them guidelines. We wanted to know the new settlement. We wanted to know areas where there are barriers. We wanted to know areas where communal clashes had, you know, pushed people out to other places. And it is based on this report that we will now, you know, look at what could be done about the profiling, the PU profiling profile in the country. So it came as a surprise that people are saying we want to create 30,000 polling units. That has not been decided yet. We are still expecting this information from the state. And of course, there's even nothing we can do without consulting the stakeholders.
Is this, okay, let me quickly take Mr. Osuntokun's thoughts on that. Does that explanation suffice for you?
Well, I mean, it clarifies the situation more. It doesn't answer all the questions. Well, you know, it is actually a syndrome that is at play here. And it's not INEC and elections alone. It's the syndrome of manipulation of figures for political, economic, social advantage in Nigeria. It is the rule rather than the exception. And when you conduct census, you know, in any exercise that you undertake to get statistics about demographics in Nigeria, it is the rule for that exercise to be affected with inflation of figures all over the place. Because those figures are used as a basis to apportion
resources,
capital expenditure, create more polling booths, to confer an advantage. So it is within that syndrome that INEC itself has featured. Now it is here. The news that I've seen so far with regard to the PVCs, I don't know how you explain the large numbers of PVCs that are yet to be claimed, almost a year or so into. So in Nigeria, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to assume, and of course also ask questions about this kind of incidences. Now look at, again, what has put the INEC on the spot, of course, is the history of INEC itself and the way it has been implicated in the manipulation of elections. Now, the report on the Kano incident of underage voters, up to today, it has not been made public. They said that the thing has been concluded, but we have not seen the truth, of course, was that there were underage voters. Because we saw it was just an allegation, it was for something we have seen, but nothing has been done in that regard. And of course, the elections last time I ran in 2015, the figures that were returned in some places, they are those that begged the imagination. Kano as a specific example, where the numbers returned for the APC candidates not in any way conform to the general trend of votes. And of course, you recall that the REC in Kano State at that time, something very unusual and suspicious happened to him before the completion of the exercise. He was burnt alongside his family in his house. So this is against the background which this kind of suspicion and allegations, come about.